Hey, my name is Joe,
And I'm Mary Beth.
and this is the best of Gen X.
We are in our 40s.
And we're siblings,
We'll talk about adulting in a world so different from the one we grew up in,
so excuse us while we save a generation.
one episode at a time.
Let's go.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Mary Beth.
Ask me how I am.
How are you?
I'm really great because
Okay.
this week I finally get to use my Christmas present.
Describe.
We're going to Indianapolis for Youngblood.
Oh, that's right. You have mentioned that. When is that?
That is Thursday. So we're going to drive down Thursday and drive up Thursday, and check into a hotel, maybe have some dinner, and then go to the concert, which is right across the street. I mean, we could walk. We're going to walk there. The only thing is, according to my daughter, the weather's not looking good. So it's outside, which
Oh, really?
I love. You know I love that.
Yeah, right. He'll probably still rock it outside if it rains.
He absolutely will. I will not. and
No.
it's supposed to be in the 50s,
Oh, boy.
cold
Yeah, that's.
and rain.
Well, make the most of it. I'm sure it'll be fun.
Oh, I will. I will make the most of it. I actually did contemplate for a minute wearing my pajamas. I thought, would anyone care?
I don't think he will.
I don't think he will either.
I don't think he will. I think he'll be safe.
He loves some moms in their 40s.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I've heard on the chats, on the forums. Yeah, I'm actually going to Indianapolis on Saturday for Morgan Wall. I'm pretty excited about that. So
Right
we'll both be in Indy.
And a friend of ours who is actually going to be on with us today, but some plans had to be changed around. So you're still out of town. So it worked out. And she actually told me that she got tickets because of our last episode when you mentioned it.
Cool. Yeah.
And I said, we're improving lives one episode at a time.
That's right. Just helping Morgan Wallen just fatten his pockets. Thank you. You're welcome.
And I also wanted to mention right out of the gate that episode after that, at the end of May, we're going to have my best friend and everyone's favorite PT back on the show in an episode we're going to call Ask Andy. So we invite you guys to send in any questions that you have about physical therapy, about pain, aches and pains, about recovery, about mobility, about sport, about pelvic health, bladder health, peeing, pooping, hormones, sex. And Andy will be on to answer your burning questions.
Yeah,
burning, get it? I said sex and
I got
burning.
that. That's funny. She's the best.
She's awesome. So yeah, everyone, you can send us an email, thebestofgenx@gmail.com, or you can send us a text above the show notes.
Do it.
All right. You want to talk about getting old?
I do want to talk about getting old. I've been actually really excited, oddly enough, about talking about getting old.
Yeah, this was just an episode idea I had in the pocket because it's kind of funny because I was telling you, I could write down a million things that make me feel old. You're old when XYZ. And then I sit down to start taking notes for today about the specific ones I'll share, and I couldn't remember a single damn one. And so I had Josh help me out, and he goes, you're old when you can't remember the reason you're having the episode.
Yeah, Forgetful Jones.
Yeah. So hey, Forgetful Jones, Sesame Street.
Yes. Yes, right? Or no?
Yeah.
I forgot.
I think it was Sesame Street.
You didn't get the joke? I forgot.
Oh, see, it's hit or miss with me. I never know.
Yeah. Right over thine head.
Right over thine head. Mind your step.
Mine's your step.
All right, so let's jump right into these. We just want to we're going to give a few of them for the first half, then we'll take a quick break and finish off with a few. I don't know, we got like 3 or 5 per half to share. Sound about right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
My first one that I have been thinking about for a while is hearing Nirvana, Alanis Morissette, or even my favorite band, Pearl Jam, on classic radio stations.
You know what? That's up there. That's up on my list.
And speaking of, listening to Nirvana today is like listening to the Beatles in the 90s.
Did you do the math?
I did the math. I'm a math guy, as you know. I'm very into the numbers.
I knew you would be.
Yeah, so I just, that stuff fascinates me when I think about time in that way. And I'm like, wow, listening to Nirvana is like listening to the Beatles in the 90s. Because it's crazy. I can't even, because there's about a 30-year difference.
Bro, you
Right.
just kind of you right out of the gate, you're kind of making my stomach churn.
It's nuts.
That one kind of made me sick.
And then to make it even crazier, I know this is not really what we're talking about because it's a different generation, but think about listening to the Beatles in the 60s, early 60s, 30 years prior. That's the 30s.
That's what our grandparents danced
That's
to.
crazy. I can't even like wrap my brain around it. Mind blown. Mind blown completely.
Well, that kind of goes along with one of mine, which is you know you're old when you can't name a single artist or song on the radio or an actor and actress on TV, like, or in the movies. When you've just sort of lost touch with the contemporary art that's out there. Like,
Yeah.
couldn't tell you who is who and what's what. And so why am I compelled to change over to those other classic stations? Not because I'm thinking I'm going to be hearing stuff, from our generation, but that's what happens. And I'm like, oh, it feels like home here. Things feel right here. I know the artist. I know the song.
Yeah. It almost seemed like in our generation, this could be a me thing. But I almost felt like there was like a certain like handful of like big stars that were like in everything, it seemed like. And now it just seems like there's so many different young faces and options to choose from that I couldn't if I wanted to keep them all straight.
I
To be
can't.
honest with you.
No way. No way. Can't.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was a good one.
All right. Let's see. I just gave you one, but you want me to give a fresh one?
No, I want to get my next one. It's funny.
Okay.
You're getting old when you're having a knee replacement at 45. A total knee replacement at that. That's when I kind of knew I was feeling old. I'm just talking about fit. I'm just talking like, we can talk about culture, pop culture. I'm just sitting here thinking about physically. That's when I was like, wow, I just had a total knee replacement at 45. That made me feel really old.
I think a lot of mine are more physical in nature. But yeah, I can imagine why that had you feeling a little low, bro. And I have to say, I felt old coming to mom and dad's during your recovery and watching you walk out of the bedroom with a walker.
With a walker. I should have put like the tennis balls on the bottom.
Oh, but the worst part about it is I'm your older sister and my younger brother's using a walker.
Yeah, I did not like that. Just FYI. I did not appreciate that. Like it was necessary at the time. I hated it.
Hated it.
It was like have you ever seen that movie Benchwarmers? You probably haven't. It's a sports ball jokey movie comedy with David Spade and Nick Swartzen. And this old he's like a worker at a Blockbuster type video store, and he's using a walker. And he's got like a Walmart schmuck on, and he goes, "I smell cinnamon rolls." And so every time I was in mom and dad's living room with the walker, I would do it real slow and feeble like, and I would say that line, and dad would start laughing. I smell cinnamon rolls. 'Cause,
That's a good
I
one.
can never be serious.
That's a good one.
Hmm.
Let's see. I have one. No matter how slowly you stand up, it's still too fast.
I think one of mine that I was saving for the second segment is similar, where I said making a noise anytime I stand up from a sitting position. So I'll be bent over, put it on a shoe, or I'll be on the couch, and as soon as I get up, I go, ugh. You always just like make that noise.
And at least well, in your brain, there's a Michael Scott saying, "See, I could tell just by the way the sound you made getting up."
Right, exactly. Yeah, a good office reference, by the way.
Thank you.
Do you make those noises when you get up,
Of
or
course.
when you lean or bend down? I do that all the time now. I don't ever not do it now. There's not one time I don't do it.
Yes, I do. And I have to keep myself in check. Okay, so I'd say in the last couple years, working from home and sitting in my bed with my back propped up and everything, I'd have to be very mindful about not sitting Indian style. I'm sorry. Crisscross applesauce, as we're supposed to
Yeah,
say
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Now I'm going to start saying
Thank
Guardian
you.
style.
Thank you.
Did you catch that?
Oh, good one.
Thank you.
That's a baseball reference. Good for you.
Thanks,
I'm so
man.
proud.
So proud. So I have to be mindful of that. Not anymore, Joe. Now, just sitting with my legs extended, even with the pillow under my legs, and I've got my lap desk on my lap, just that normal position. I get up and I wobble. I hop. You know how we've seen our mom get up out of a chair and hobble for some years now. I do that
Oh yeah,
in a normal seated position.
yeah. I always hated when I would see mom do that. No, I do it. I mean, I do it a little bit,
Oh, every time
but
I do it, every time I get up, I do that.
yeah, it was like I know her knee is bad too, and she's having surgery. But it's like every time she would stand up, her knee would be so bent that it would take her a while for that knee to straighten out, or her leg to straighten out. And mine was kind of getting that way too, where I get up and about 45 seconds, a minute later, you'll see the legs start straightening a little bit more and more. But it takes a second, man. It's just you're just not where you were. You're just not where you used to be physically. You can't just like hop up and jump up and go be ready to go run a mile. I mean, you
Hey,
just can't do that.
then speaking of that, is it my turn? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You pay more attention to what people on TV shows are doing rather than what's really going on in the scene because you're asking yourself, could I do that? Could I physically do what they just did? So, okay, I'm watching The Cosby Show. And there's an episode where I'm sure if you looked it up, Bill Cosby's our age at the time of filming. Well, they're doing this dance thing in the living room, and he
Hmm.
runs towards the couch and jumps onto the couch and then jumps off the couch like it's nothing. And
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I'm thinking, I couldn't do that.
No.
Or what's worse, watching the Golden Girls and see Miss Betty White squat down to like pick something up off the floor or look for something, and I'm like, Betty White can do it. I cannot. I don't think without support, just to watch actors who are our age or older doing things physically without support. Now I'm talking about like what they would call in theater stage business, where you're physically doing something, but it has not a whole lot to do with like the scene itself or the dialogue. It's just you being natural as part of that character. So that's the stuff I'm talking about. I should be focusing on the dialogue and the plot, but I'm really focusing on the actors and going, "Oh, could I do that?" And I've done it a lot with recently with TikTok. I have something inside of me, Joe, that really feels like I missed my calling by not jumping on the TikTok train a little bit sooner and being like one of the first moms to just dance. I should be on TikTok every day dancing to something because I got moves. Or wait,
You do have moves.
I had moves. Would you agree? You think I can dance?
No, 1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%.
Thanks,
Me and you
man.
were like Ross and Monica on
Oh,
Friends when they were trying to
we
do
could
that. The New Year's.
totally, we could totally find ourselves at a Dick Rockin' Dick Eve, doing the
Yeah,
routine.
right. The routine that we've had for probably 10 or more years. In the clip, ready.
We could
Just
do
ready. Yeah, no doubt.
it. Come on, Ross. We don't want to look stupid. Or when
By
he
the way, I
goes,
was so proud.
oh,
No, go ahead.
I was going to say one of my favorite lines of the whole series is in that episode where Joey says, "All right, now just be cool," and Ross goes in, "Oh my God, it's just like I dreamed it."
I was gonna say I was so proud of Navy. I called her earlier and she she had surgery, so she's been kind of bedridden and couch ridden. I said, I bet you gotten through some shows. She goes, Yep, got through Friends in 1 week. I was so proud.
I'm
I was so
proud of
proud.
her, but back
And
up.
she what?
Why did Navy have surgery?
Oh, she had probably TMI. She had too many. I said probably TMI. She had too many UTIs.
Say that really fast 5 times.
TMI. She had too many UTIs. TMI. She had too many UTI. So yeah, it's kind of like girl stuff. So she had surgery about a week and a half ago, and so they opened her up a little bit too much or went a little too far down, so they had to give her some extra stitches. So she was in some serious pain,
Oh man.
and so she's not been able to work for a couple weeks. And she's, I think the first week she was trying to vacuum and bend over and grab stuff, and it was hurting her really bad to tears. And she called the doctor, and they were like, "Yeah, dork, you're not supposed to be doing that." So she's been, like I said, couch ridden, bedridden. So I called to check up on her like once a day, and she said she's getting through some shows, man. And when she said Friends in a week, I was so proud. I felt like I'd raised her correctly. And the cutest part was, and you and I both have experienced this now that we're adults. But she said, Dad, it's funny because when I watched this whole series in middle school, I didn't get some of the references. She goes, now I get them, and it makes it even funnier. So it's almost like she's seeing the show brand new all over again, as a almost married, almost 20-year-old.
Yeah.
So she kind of giggled about that. So I was like, yeah, good for you.
Good for her. And that I see why that would make you proud. I feel the same way that Mallory's almost finished with The Office. And
Oh,
to hear her laughing from another room out loud, it just warms
it
my
warms
mommy's
it.
heart.
It warms it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so how about this one's new for me? So I was anxious to share it. Wearing reading glasses because I can't see any words right in front of my face. This is a new development for me. This is
This is
probably
a new development.
this is 2 or 3 weeks old. Uh, Amber put the phone right in my face to look at something, and I literally had to back my head up. I had to hold her phone, and I had to wait for it to not be fuzzy. I was like, no.
I hate
So
to
I
tell
put
you
the
this.
what?
It's probably time you went to get your vision checked, and it's probably time Joe wears glasses.
I know I'm just not ready for it, but I tell you what, she put those readers on me, and I could see it clearly, and I could read it quickly. I was like, man, I need this.
Yeah. Readers are
But
life changing.
man, I tell you, I've never. That was a weird experience. That was brand new, like I said.
And I can't believe it just recently happened.
Yeah. So I was anxious to share that one.
Well, here's TMI. Going back to that surgery, I don't know what kind of surgery she had, but um I had one of the bladder mesh something or other procedures at the same time that I had my hysterectomy.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the healing process, I'll tell you exactly what it felt like, and then you can let me know if you think men could handle this.
Probably going to say no, but go ahead.
Recovering from that surgery felt like I was walking around at all times with a blowtorch on my crotch.
Could I have handled that?
Could you have handled something like that? Because that's what it felt like. Felt like someone had stuck a flaming axe into my lady bits.
No, I can tell you for certain I wouldn't have enjoyed that.
Ah,
I would have complained about that a little bit.
it
I
was
mean, when my
man.
nose runs, I complain. So I can only imagine if it felt like a flaming axe up my non-lady bits.
It was a fla- It was a. It was a. It was an axe on fire.
Did it feel like liquid hot magma?
Liquid hot magma flowing into my nether regions. Floating into my,
Another yeah.
I was going to say, floating into my nether, yeah.
Yeah, I like
Wait,
when she says that, by the way.
speaking of, that's it. For people out there who haven't, first of all, why haven't you? But who haven't watched Big Bang yet? That is a reference to Big Bang. Nether, yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this during our last episode, but young Sheldon, man.
Yeah, you've got me on the train. I mean, I was already a couple episodes in, but I think you got me wanting to watch the whole thing.
Man, I tell you what. I'll tell you. I'll tell our listeners what I told you at the time. I I didn't want to necessarily. I'm not a big fan of prequels
Because
because
you already know how it ends and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
and I said the same thing with House of the Dragon. I let the whole first season go by and the second season start before the temptation became too much and HBO once again snatched my heart from out of my body.
Sure.
Because I told myself those HBO bastards will never hurt me again.
And they did. And they
Well,
did.
we'll see because House of the Dragon is still going, and actually in June season 3 starts. So I'm gonna have to get, because I started watching it, I'm gonna have to see it through, I suppose. But Young Sheldon, I'm not a fan of the prequel because I feel like I already know what's happened, and also I had thought when the in real time when it was still airing. I had sworn that I had seen clips of the final episode where I knew that Jim Parsons and Mayim Bialik were coming back as Sheldon and Amy.
Mhm.
And at the time, I just assumed because they looked a little older, and I thought they were back at his hometown for like a funeral. And I assumed it was going to be his mom, because we know that he loses his dad. And so I didn't want to see that. I was nervous about that. And also because as I got further into the series, I knew that we were getting closer to Sheldon's 14th birthday, and we know when he turns
You know
14.
what happens when he turns 14, yeah.
We know what happens. And so but the main reason though is I told you, I said once I'm done with young Sheldon, if we're seeing Amy and Sheldon older than they ended the series Big Bang, then the story will officially be over. And I wasn't ready for the story to be over.
Yeah.
Especially if I didn't like it. Like I didn't want to see someone die and whatever.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
I was completely caught off guard. That's not what I thought I saw was not what I thought I saw. And so I ultimately finished it, I guess 2 weeks ago, and I texted you. I was like, "Bro, I'm wrecked." Capital caps lock wrecked. And not in a bad, they weren't all sad tears, you're going to have some sad tears because you get to
Right.
know his dad and everything. But there were also some happy tears, and there's so much happiness in the series itself, and so many moments that I can't wait for you to experience because it it's in the past, but he's narrating the whole thing. And so they are all these little nuggets like, why did Sheldon start dressing that way? When did that happen? Because when he's little and he wears the bow tie and stuff, but
Right.
when did the comic t-shirts come out? And where does he get the bazinga? And you get so many little nuggets of Big Bang Theory that it's just so lovely, and your heart will just soar all throughout the series. And finally, if not for Annie Potts, you watch it for Wallace Shawn. Dude,
Oh yeah, he's really good. The Princess Bride guy.
I've been tempted to send you clips, but I don't want to ruin anything for you.
Well, a couple of the early episodes he was in when him and Annie Potts' character met and they date or
So
whatever. Yeah.
he even
He's
though
so
the
good.
relationship doesn't last the whole time, he's in it the whole time.
Yeah. I kind of figured that. So
So good. He's
good. Yeah,
so funny.
he
And
is funny.
Annie Potts is fantastic, I gotta say.
Yes. Yeah,
And
she's good.
listen to me just naming off those two, but I love everybody else. So this is my little tangent. You got to watch Young Sheldon
Okay.
and then tell
I,
me
pro-
all about it.
I promise I will give it a chance.
And then so I can share in those moments with you. You have to text me every time something like that happens and you go, "Oh." So I can
Okay,
go,
good.
"Oh."
Yeah, I mean, I guess the upside of the prequels is you get to kind of see where the characters came from and kind of how, you know, how they came to be when you first see them in the original series. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah, and
it's like the lead up to that, you kind of learn how where they came from and how they became to be the way they were
you'll
or
also
are.
get some of your perceptions about people in his life, like his siblings, his dad. You're going to be surprised at how much love there is in that family. And because Big Bang Theory gives you, well, Sheldon's very skewed perception
Yeah,
of
yeah.
those
No,
people.
I do remember you texting me about that,
Yeah.
about his dad specifically. You mentioned something about his dad specifically.
There are going to be some things that really surprise you because we're almost positive that we know what kind of guy his dad is. We
Yeah,
don't. We don't. And his brother and sister, same. We don't. They're awesome
right.
and they love him.
Well,
So,
you remember the guy that played his dad was in a Big Bang episode, the bully.
oh, of course.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is cool to me.
Yeah. Same. Same.
Okay, that's a good one. Is it your turn? I mentioned the reading glasses. I don't remember if you went.
Oh, I guess it is my turn. Oh, there's some I want to save.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
be very strategic about what you share in segment one.
All right, I'll share this one. I think I've said this before. You know you're old when all the doctors and nurses and dentists and hygienists, when they're all younger than you. And it doesn't happen gradually. It happens overnight. Suddenly you're like, when did this happen?
Right.
It just hit me all at once.
Yeah. As kids, every doctor had like white hair and wrinkles, and
And
they were
now,
about ready to retire.
now, what's up?
Like,
Like,
like.
like
Oh yeah.
those are the people saving yourself, from whatever
Right.
ails you, keeping
Yeah,
your
and
teeth clean.
well, I was going to say my ortho surgeon that I had my knee replacement. I actually was in the same grade. He went to a different school, and I played sports against him. So it's like if somebody was 10 years old working with him for whatever reason, I don't know how many 10-year-olds are working with ortho surgeons, but let's just say there's a 10-year-old working with him. I mean, he probably seems super old to that kid. To me, he's my age, and I'm like, oh gosh, oh no.
Yeah, and even worse than that, I'm I am the the creepy old lady who says, "Boy, aren't you handsome?"
Here's butterscotch.
Yeah.
You have a piece of butterscotch in your purse.
Well, I haven't gotten that far yet, but I'm close because so when I had it, speaking of UTIs, 2 summers ago, when I had if mom hadn't made me, if she hadn't forced me, if she hadn't driven to the house and said, "Get in the car," I probably would have died because I was not, the symptoms I was having, you don't get those with UTIs. But then I learned later that as you age, your symptoms of UTI can change, and which is very dangerous because, if you're not feeling anything down there that's not right, you're not going to
Right.
think UTI, and that's an infection, and it could do some real harm. And so, but I was on day 4 of just the worst diarrhea I've ever had, and couldn't even drink water. I felt like I was dying, and it
Mm.
turned out to be a really, really bad UTI. And so I had to go to one of those urgent care / ER centers. And so they
Mhm.
hooked me up to an IV. It took 2 full bags of IV fluid to get me back into halfway coherent. but
Yeah.
but the doctor who came in, and mom can tell you that she was sitting right there, and he walked in and I went, "Oh wow, you're adorable." I go, "You are so cute." And mom started laughing.
That is funny.
I've done the same thing to one of the hygienists at my dentist office because I don't just go there as a patient, but I've been writing their website and their
Right.
blogs for years. So I'm very familiar with the team. So anytime there's someone new, I notice. I especially noticed when this cute little dude was in scrubs. And I was like, I said to my hygienist, I go, who is that? Who he's new? And she told me, and I go, isn't he adorable? He's just the cutest little thing. I said, everybody around here wants to date him, I bet. And she was just laughing. And then most recently, my eye doctor, not my vision doctor, but the one I'm seeing for all of my eye problems that I guess that's another way I know that I'm old is my eyes are starting to droop and they're red and they burn and they swell, like my eyelids are swollen and crusty every morning. So that's another reason why it's so hard for me to wear makeup. Like you gotta be really impressed when you see me walk in with makeup. That means I think the event is very important and special. Because it really does a number on me. And so my eye doctor, and of course they're sitting like nose to nose, making you look through things and look at things and shining things in your eye. And
Yeah.
so he's super cute. And he walked out of the room and I said to the nurse, I go, he is the cutest thing ever. I go, he is just so adorable, but not like, oh, let me jump on him. Like old lady, like, aren't you a doll?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Butterscotch lady.
Yeah, better. Like, aren't you just the sweetest looking man? Aren't you so cute? I bet your wife just loves to show you off. I mean, like that creepy old lady with the butterscotch in her purse. But yeah, they all get younger and they all are younger than you overnight. You don't notice it happening in your 30s. You don't notice a transition, but it happens, bro.
Mm.
And it's quite assaulting on the senses.
And you just trust that those young kids studied hard and did well in medical school.
You never think that. There's so much wisdom with the silver fox look, right? There's so much wisdom in those gray hairs and those wrinkles. You feel like this doctor, this nurse, this, whatever knows what they're doing. But you actually think those things. I think, man, like here's another thing I did. I've got the cutest gastrointestinal doctor, gastroenterologist,
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. But this is not the one that I see like regularly for my medications because I've got Barrett's esophagus and all those kind of problems. And we have a lovely family history of colon problems. But he's the one who's done the colonoscopies and he's so hot. And so the first time I'm in there for my colonoscopy a few years ago and he walks in and I'll tell you who he looks like. Did you ever watch Glee?
No.
Oh, his name's Jonathan Goff.
No clue.
I think that's his name. I think I got it right. But anyway, real good.
Yeah, no clue.
Looks just like him. So he walks in and I've got my little robe on and I'm covered in my blankets and I've got the IV going and everything. And I said, as they were getting ready to wheel me out, I go, "Now don't you go falling in love with me."
That's only you could do.
I know, because I was like, "You're going to be up close. You're going to be up close and personal with my insides. Don't you go falling in love with what you see."
Oh my gosh!
And he laughed.
I mean, we're gonna have a bunch of single females listen to our podcast, emailing you, where do I go get seen by these Days of Our Lives doctors that Mary Beth apparently goes to everywhere? I have a feeling you did all that on purpose.
I did. I staked them out. I went to the websites. I looked at the Our Team page.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
So, okay. Do you have a few? Do you think it's a good place to stop?
I have one more that'll be quick.
Okay.
I feel old being able to say that I've been in my industry and my career for 21 years.
Oh, for sure.
Because when you first start your career, it's like you're in your early 20s typically, and you see all these older people, which are now our age, successful. I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying, like, you just see these people that have been around and they tell people, "Yeah, I've been here for 20 years." And you're like, wow.
Right.
It's so out of the realm of possibility in your mind because you can't think that far ahead. And now I'm there. Plus some. I'm like 21 years. I'm like, wow.
Right. To tell people that I taught for 17 years and I've been 10 years out of teaching.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm on a 30-year carear,
That's crazy. Yeah, because yesterday, Mary Beth, you'll appreciate this, and we can go to break. Yesterday would have been my 21-year anniversary at my first company that I ever worked for.
Oh, wow.
It's like I remember that date specifically. I started on May 2nd, 2005, and so I texted the guy that I onboarded with that I ended up traveling a bunch with, and he was like, "Man, time is an SOB. Like it just moves so fast."
No,
Bryson was 3 months old when I started there,
zoinks.
and so now it's like, wow,
Wait, give me your best Shaggy zoinks. I haven't heard that in a while.
zoinks.
You used to do that just to make me laugh.
Just to make you laugh, just because I could.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I think the same thing, not just about myself and my own years of experience in what I do, but when I'm watching documentaries or docuseries, I love to watch the archaeology, the National Geographic, the Discovery. I watch all that crap. And anyone who mentions their credentials, I've been studying sharks for X amount of years. I've been doing this I've been coming on these digs for, if they don't say 25 plus, I discredit them immediately. I scoff.
Yeah, they got no street cred.
Yeah. I mean, until you mentioned yours, I was like, I do the same thing for other people. Like, don't tell me that you've been doing this for 15 years and expect me to be impressed.
Right.
Tell me 30 years and I'll be like, nice. Okay. I know you know what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know what 30 years looks and feels like.
100%.
I know what 20 years looks and feels like. So if it's in that ballpark, okay. But if it's not, I almost want to change the channel and be like, where are my experts? Where are the experts?
Unfortunately, because we're so old, we can appreciate it.
I know.
And respect it.
I know.
And relate to it, unfortunately.
I don't know how to feel about this, Joe.
Oh my gosh. What an upbeat episode.
I know. I think it's time for a quick break. And we come back. Don't have any country updates, but we'll do some hot takes and such. And talk for a minute about the Derby.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, listeners. Do you like judging people as much as we do?
Then judge us.
To submit your criticisms and complaints about our show, you can reach us at gotohell@bazinga.biz.
For all other comments, questions, or suggestions about future episodes, drop us a line. Send us a text from our website at thebestofgenx.buzzsprout.com and click on the link just above the show notes.
Or email us at thebestofgenx@gmail.com.
All right. We're back.
We're back.
Don't have any country updates. We're still holding strong at 85.
It still blows my mind, 85.
I know. Our numbers continue to climb, however, which is good. So we can actually get right into...
Hot takes.
Would you like to go first?
You always offer for me to go first. Okay. Yes, I'll go first. This I'm excited about because I don't know that I've ever shared this combination with you, I will say.
Okay.
But Mary Beth, my hot take today is hamburger dill chips. So the little round hamburger dill chip pickle slices that go on hamburgers and cheeseburgers.
Mouth is watering.
Belong on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I've done it.
I have too. Did it as a kid. Couldn't get enough of it.
I tried it as a kid. I thought, why haven't I always been doing this?
I don't know that I've ever made it any other way since.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a big summertime snack when school was out and I was home for the summer. Man, at 10, 11 o'clock when I got hungry and I wanted PB&J, I threw some dill chips on there. Buddy, game changer. The pickle mixed in with the peanut butter and the strawberry jelly.
It could be the saltiness and texture.
Please don't knock it until you try it. And people will be like, "Ooh, gross." I'm like, really? The same people that say that eat peanut butter and jelly regular with chips and a pickle.
Right.
I'm like, okay, good call.
That's a good one.
You'll eat a pickle independently with it. But you won't put the little dill chips on the sandwich.
Makes no sense.
So good. I didn't know you'd done that before. I thought I was like trend setting this deal.
Same. I never shared that with anyone, but I've done
Oh
it.
yeah,
Liked it.
buddy. I put it like in the dice shape where it's like the five, the number five. I put the two on the top, two on the bottom, one in the middle. Let's go.
All right. Well, mine's Derby related. I want to say my hot take, Derby's overrated.
I paused because I thought you were going to continue on, but I kind of agree. I was going to agree with you on that.
Well, here's what I thought. So
Oh no, I'm sorry. In the spirit of Big Bang, I'll be like Amy Fairfowler when you say it. I'll go defend.
I thought you were going to say it's not a contest.
Yeah, defend.
I actually had been thinking about this all week leading up to it because that's how I've always felt. And that's why I paused, because I don't know how I feel about it now. Because it's a huge deal to Josh, and it's something that he and his dad did together every year. Josh would have his earpiece on literally all day. They would spend the week leading up to Derby studying the booklets on the phone, and then they would spend all day on the phone together placing bets. And so I knew that this is going to be a little tough for him. But I've never really cared for the Derby, and I don't like gambling. We can talk a whole other episode about that. But
Sure.
so Josh comes into the bedroom where I am just in time to watch the actual race. And so I watched it with him, and I gotta say, I'm thinking, oh man, that's my hot take. And now suddenly it's awesome. And I only say that because, first of all, this horse came out of nowhere. I don't know if you watched.
I did.
Okay.
I did watch it.
So watching Josh have his eye, I couldn't keep track of who was who, and it was all happening so fast, and then they're all so clumped together. But Josh, like, saw him coming before the commentators were saying anything, and he was going, "Golden Tempo," and I go, "What's happening?" And then out of nowhere, like, he just saw it. He just knows the race, and he knows what things are about. And so
Yeah, sure.
I was kind of impressed with his prowess in that moment. But also, I understand that the jockey winner and the second place jockey are brothers.
Brothers. Yep.
And I saw the jockey being interviewed after, and he got really emotional and was talking about how special it was and about being in this country and encouraging, young people in Puerto Rico watching. And so I thought, man, that's very special. Oh, he won with his brother, first and second place. That's amazing. And then, of course, the first female trainer to win. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And so
Full storyline this year.
I'm like, damn. So where's my hot take go now?
I
So-
like it.
I know. So I kind of have I'm not even sure how I feel about my hot take so much anymore, because this particular year had a lot of special qualities about it. But I have to say, I do feel quite proud to be from this area. I do feel quite proud to be part of that tradition. It's such a big deal here, and it does go back so many years, and the way it's treated so special here, I think that's kind of cool. The experience to go and be in all that racket, I think, has got to be overrated. But seeing it on TV is enough for that moment, but not spending all damn day,
Yeah, that's fair.
However, I can come up with a hot take on the spot. So 152, this was 152 years of the Derby, and it's the first female trainer to win. While everyone out there is probably going, you know what? It's the patriarchy. That's why. And I'm thinking, no, I'm sure female trainers have been invited to the dance for many, many years. My thought is, why do women trainers suck? Why do we have to wait until 152nd Derby
Yeah,
for a
that's a
female
low
trainer?
success rate.
Thank you. You put it in the right words. That's a pretty low success rate. I don't see it as like anyone holding women back. I think women just aren't as good at men at training horses. However, I say that on the spot. I say it with a little tongue in cheek. I thought it was an awesome moment. I was so happy for the stranger I knew nothing about. To watch her win was a really cool moment. To hear it was the first woman, that's awesome as well. And to pay a little respect and send some love out to the Cullen sisters that we met during our Pacific Northwest trip.
Oh, yeah.
One
Yeah.
of them trained horses. And so if she's still listening, which I hope she is, nothing but respect for that kind of thing. And I think it's awesome that a woman won this
Oh,
year.
yeah. Good
Pretty
call on
nice.
that. And really, I mean, I'm like you. I watch it every year. And then once it's done, I'm on to something else in my mind. So I watch it. It's no different than I like baseball, but I'm a Cubs fan. So if the Cubs aren't in the World Series, I'm still going to watch the World Series. Like, I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah.
But I think I call it overrated only because, and to be fair, I've never been in person, even though we live here. I've never been to the actual Derby. But I think two things. I think the people try a little too hard with the hats and the outfits. It's like, okay, you know.
At this point, it's just like a fashion contest.
Yeah, exactly. It was like a red carpet thing, and
Yeah.
I bet more than half the people don't really give a rip about the race itself.
Yeah.
And then the second reason I probably think of it as overrated, even though I still watch it, is because unlike a World Series or an NFL Super Bowl or something like that, like you kind of forget, or at least I do. Maybe I'm just in the minority. I forget who the winner is, like literally the next day.
Yeah.
Like I'm always going to remember who the Super Bowl winner was the full year or the next year or whatever World Series. I'm going to remember that stuff. It stays with me. But like with that, once it's done, it just is it's flushed out of my mind. I couldn't tell you. I almost couldn't say Golden Temple until you just said it, and I watched it. I sure as hell couldn't tell you who won last year.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
It's just a fleeting thing. It's over and you don't even think about it anymore. So that's kind of why I feel like it's overrated. But I'm sure if I was there and I having some drinks, I would probably love it.
Yeah.
You know, but I think some people are a little too try hard with it.
Look, it looks like a racket to me. To this,
Yeah, a racket. And listen, I know wealthy people that I've been friends with over the years that have some money and they have like time to go to that thing all week, and they go all week. They have people come in from out of town and entertain them all week. I'm like, dude, I would just be worn out.
I would too.
I would just be worn out.
Just hearing you describe that made my blood pressure rise for a minute.
Exactly. My chest got tense. Okay.
All right, I have 3. I'm going to save my best one for last.
Okay, perfect. You want me to start?
Sure. Well,
okay.
This one's. I'll start with a kind of serious one.
Okay.
If the rest of yours are kind of on the funny side, but
I mean, almost all of mine are on the funny side.
Okay, so let's just get this one out of the way. I'm gonna have to say, you're old when you start to worry about your parents in a whole new way. So, I mean, our parents have been active and capable people. Mom's about to turn 70, dad's about to turn 73. And we've talked about this before. 70 doesn't look like what it used to look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm a worrier, I've always worried about my parents, something happening to them. But at this age, I find myself, and maybe it's because I'm the daughter and sons don't tend to have the responsibility of it, but I worry more about how they're going to get around. How are they faring for themselves? I worry a lot lately about just them being able to do things they've always been able to do, especially since, we've talked about our dad's brush with death back in 2017, and he's having surgery on Wednesday this week on an aneurysm, and it's in that same area, and so that makes me nervous. And he just had a hip replacement, and mom's going to have her knee replaced in June, and I don't know. They are on my mind in a whole different way than they've always been on my mind a lot. But does that make sense?
It does. When we were kids, I was worried about mom and dad getting hurt or sick when they're in their 30s and they're fully capable,
like an
healthy.
accident.
Yeah, and so now you kind of flip and have that protective gene,
right? Even
though you're still their child, you feel more protective of them and hope that they don't like stand up too fast and tip over, or it's like, and clearly they're not going to do that. They're not that way. They're very functioning
They are. They
at their
are.
age. But yeah, just
But I'm starting to
I
worry.
think the same ways too sometimes. But yeah, that's fair. But I am glad, like you said, where kind of like 70 is kind of the new 50
Hmm.
or right? Is that did I say that right? Yeah. So yeah. So you think about on dad's side, our grandparents when they were in their 70s, early 70s. You think about on mom's side when they were in their 70s, they just seemed a little bit less functioning and active and mobile, I guess I would say.
Less
Mom and dad just to me, I know they wouldn't say that because mom's knee and dad's hip, but they still to me just appear. The perception is they can get around easier, like they're younger, like they're 50 or 60. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't worry. I'm not like at the critical point of worry, but I definitely feel myself feeling more protective over them about just little day-to-day things for sure.
Well, like they don't know this until they listen to this episode. They don't know that I've been thinking, okay, so maybe I need to, with dad just having surgery, and I don't care if they say that it's routine. I don't care if they say that the recovery is supposed to be pretty easy. I'm thinking, okay, him coming off of that and then mom going right into knee surgery, should I stay there for a couple weeks? Because, there's only so much helping dad will be able to do
Yeah.
with mom getting around. And so anyway, that's on my mind.
Okay. No, it's a good one. I mean, it's a serious one, but it's a good one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So my first one in the second segment is, and I don't know if you would call this serious, but my youngest daughter getting married in 5 months. You feel old when your youngest kid is getting married in 5 months.
Yeah, I would imagine so. And I think maybe this kind of goes along with it because I've recently been thinking, you're old when you start to get the, what do you call it? Like before I got pregnant, I had the baby, what do you call it?
Baby fever.
Yes. I'm starting to get grandbaby fever.
I listen, no lie, I am too.
Are you?
Yeah, no lie, I am too. You know how people are always like, now you don't have to rush it. I'm not in a hurry. But in the back of our mind, I'm like kind of semi excited.
Yes.
About it.
Yes. Now we realize that our parents have always been lying to us.
Oh, for sure.
No
for
rush,
sure.
no rush. And inside I'm going, give me that baby. Give me that baby.
And then when I'm tired of it, I give it back.
No more babies. No more.
No more babies. Yeah, I have in the recent weeks, I have expressed to Amber that I said I cannot wait to be the grandfather that has the sports team T-shirt that my grandkids are playing on, and it'll say Papa on the back. I said I'll be at every game. I'll show up with my coffee and my chair, and that's all I need to bring. I don't need to bring a tent or a wagon because all those other parents have to do all that. Yeah. I can just I can show up 5 minutes late with a coffee in my hand. And I can leave when I want.
It sounds so glorious.
It does, man. It sounds so badass. It sounds badass.
And when I think about, well, Mallory's not even engaged or anything, but she has a fella that she really loves, and we kind of like him, and so it just, I don't know. They're definitely not in a place where I'd want this to happen, but I kind of also want it to happen.
No, I get you. Listen, you don't have to explain it to me.
Okay.
I get it. I'm the same way. Now I do want Navy and Luke to do it when it's right for them.
Yeah.
But if it's right away, I ain't gonna be mad.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be mad.
Hey,
Let's just say.
I have thought about that because that's probably my soonest opportunity to have a baby. So I'm going to be watching that baby. Don't you think for a second that Aunt Bet won't be watching that baby as much as possible? Okay.
That baby will be precious, by the way.
Oh, I know. Well, that's another thing. I think of, how adorable Mallory was, and she was so fat and fluffy, and I just can't wait to see another version of that. But
nice. Okay, what you got?
Okay. Okay. How about you're old when, and this is just another way that I am quite open on this podcast. I don't hold much back about my life.
You don't?
You're old when you and your spouse haven't had sex in a while, and neither one of you really gives a shit.
Oh,
it's been a while, but neither of you really cares.
I really wasn't anticipating that. I figured it was going to be something kind of edgy. And
Well,
and you delivered. And you delivered.
well,
Um,
I was gonna say originally, I was gonna say, when your spouse says something to you like, "We should probably have sex," and your involuntary response is, "Eh."
oh well, I hope to 6 pound 7 ounce baby Jesus that I don't ever get that way.
No,
But
no, and trust me, I mean, I'm. It's weird for me even to be saying this, as you know, it's something I really enjoy.
yeah, you are very pro marital relations.
I'm very pro, and Josh and I have always been very pro. And it just, I think it's a combination of many things. Like starting January 1st, 2026 has just been tough in a lot of ways for us. I mean, like you know, not to bring up a sore spot, but there was a breakup in the family that Josh and I really had a hard time with. And then right after that, I injured my knee and dude, I couldn't bend my leg without pain. So sex was like off the table then. And then we go to Aruba and then boom, his dad dies. And so we've had a combination of things where we're just not thinking about it, not like the closeness is there, the wanting is probably there, but and then Mallory's we're still not empty nesters, so we've still got the cock block living with us.
Yeah, sure, sure.
And so it's one of those things where this year it's just been like the stars kind of have to align, meaning Mallory has to be like gone ish or asleep. And then
Yeah,
also we have to be in the mood, which neither of us have really been in the last few weeks. And also, neither of us injured.
right,
Like,
right.
so I had my injury, but then also he carries around a heavy ladder a lot, so his shoulder's always hurting, and currently his back's really bothering him. So it's like you have to be in the mood, you have to be alone, you have to be not tired, you have to be not sleeping, and you have to not just have eaten. Because that's another one we blame it on. We're like, I really want to have sex, but we just ate.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, yes.
So, um, yeah, I think it's just we've talked about it, and because we don't obviously have problems talking about that stuff, we're very open with each other, and so it's not a big thing. We laugh about it, we joke about it, but just getting both of it and I don't even have to be in the mood. In fact, I'm never in the mood, but I get in the mood. But one of us has to be in the mood to like initiate it, but it just never like
Yeah, yeah.
just. And I'm just talking recently. And that's new and different for us, and I wondered if it was an age thing, and it could be, but we're still young, so I don't think it's just that, but it's made me feel old, like when you get to the point where you're like, when did we have sex last? We should probably do it, Josh. Yeah, we should, but like it's just like which we never ever have been like that.
Well, kudos for the super close and intimate inside look into your relationship.
You're welcome, Joshy. It's funny.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, this one's kind of funny, I think this one will get you giggling. You know you're old when recently you had two choices of places to stop and eat for lunch, and one of your pieces of criteria was that the place wasn't loud.
I was gonna ask, are you gonna say something about the heartburn?
No, I
No,
was like,
I can't have onions this early in the day. It'll
yeah,
repeat.
I got a choice A and a choice B, and my first comment was, well, whichever one isn't as loud. And I thought, wait a minute. And I cocked my head to the side and go, did that just come out of my mouth?
No,
And if so, why?
I think you may have a touch of the tism.
Holy. Does it
Let's-
have to be so loud?
we should,
That's one of my favorite Chandler lines, by the way.
we have to. We should
So-
explore that sometime. You get anxious about the same thing, a lot of the same things that I get anxious about.
Okay, great.
So,
Super.
so in June that'll be our first episode. Like evaluating my brother for the tism.
Hey, everybody, guess what? I have it too.
All right, I think this is my last one.
Okay.
Okay. And this one you're already aware of, but I'm going to share with our listeners because I was so excited about it. We recently went out to lunch for our parents' 51st wedding anniversary. This was last Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
There near the start of it, I had an announcement to make. I said, everyone, I have some wonderful news to share. I said, for the last year of my life, I've been thinking to myself and telling people that I'm 48. And I just that's just in my mind how old I was. But recently, I was inspired to do the math. I had to do it on my calculator 3 times just to make sure I wasn't messing up. I'm 47. I've gained an entire year of life. because
You have so much to accomplish now.
because
There's so much room to accomplish
this
things.
August, I'll be. I thought I would be turning 49, but I'm only turning 48. But I've already been 48 for a year. It's gonna be magnificent.
Because I said at lunch, I said you're doing the math where 1978 plus 48 equals 2026.
Oh no, that's not how I do it. I do 226, like 2026 minus 1978.
Oh, see, I don't do it that way.
I've always done it that way.
I've never done it that way.
Well,
I'm
see-
always the number and how much to get to the next number.
Okay, because I don't do it that way because I wasn't sure of the number.
See, that's where I shine.
No, I mean, if I'd have done 48, it would have shown me 2026.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
But
That's
but my birthday hasn't happened yet. So am I 48 and turning 49, or am I 47 turning 48?
I know what you meant. I'm just telling you how I add, damn it. I'm an adder. I'm an adder. You're a subtractor. Shocking.
And you know what? Those two people do not mix.
No. Oil and water.
I was gonna
Oil and water.
Oil and water, damn it.
That's how I do math in my head.
Well, I couldn't have done it that way because I was solving for X. And so you already put X in there, and I didn't do that. I was solving for X. It's like, how old am I? So I feel like I mean, it gave me a brighter outlook for the rest of the year. I thought, wow, I'm only 47. I'm only going to be 48. So it's going to really feel like I've been 48 for 2 years. I was really happy about that. But the point is, you're old when you don't remember how old you are.
Yeah, I've never had that, obviously. Never.
Well, we talked about this when we were kids. We would ask Mom, how old are you? And she'd go, and she'd have to think about it.
Yeah, that would freak us out. Like, how do you not know?
First of all, how do you not know? And second, how young can one get dementia? Because I think our mom has it.
Oh, man. I'm not going to say that. You said it. I'm not saying that. You said it. Mom, if you're listening.
It was scary. Like, how does my mom not know how old she is?
No, that actually didn't make me scared when I was younger when they did
That's
that.
what I mean.
I would get scared. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a good one, Mary Beth. Ha ha ha. Idiot.
I was very happy. Idiot.
Idiot. So I have 2 more that I can buzz through here.
Okay.
Having, you're old when you're having a legal beer with your son almost 2 months ago. That made me feel old.
Yes.
Which you have recently experienced this with Mallory. And then the last one is,
wait,
oh,
along with that, I recently heard this week because I listened to the Office Ladies. And actually, it may have been a repeat of an older episode. So this may be a little off. But they said on that episode, Jim and Pam's baby, Cece, would be getting her driver's license this year.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
So
that's that's eye opening. Okay, that'll do it. Good call. Last one. And I love to do this because I've done it last several years. Googling the age of actors and actresses who played in famous Gen X era movies, like seeing if we're close to the same age or older, gets me every time.
And realize we're way older.
Especially during Christmas, like you'll Google Tim Allen on the Santa Claus, and you're like, wow, he's 37 in that movie or whatever.
Gag.
And that's crazy. I do that all the time now.
I know. And because you started doing it, now I do it.
That's fun.
It's fun. It's fun to do. And it's sort of like a self check-in.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's like it's fun, but then I go,
Right. It's fun for a second.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Dang. I think Reginald Owens was like 50 or 51 when he did that that Christmas Carol.
Yikes.
I know, right? He had some like prosthetic stuff going on, but still.
Still.
I think Joe Pesci was like our age during Home Alone,
So I can't even handle that.
or maybe even younger actually. If I did my little Google
I think he was younger.
exercise.
Draft. Go. We did that at the
Okay.
same time.
Yeah, we did. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I mean, I should say this wasn't fun to talk about, but it was actually really fun to talk about.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm glad we did that.
And I'm sure, you know what? I think of these things all the time. So let's put a pin in this and come back to it at a later time.
Okay.
Because it's gonna keep happening. It's gonna keep happening.
Okay, I'll be down.
All right. Well, thank you, Joe. It was nice talking to you. And thank you so much for listening to another piece of the Gen X experience worth saving. If you understood everything we talked about, you're already there. And if you didn't understand, you'll be there soon. It's now been immortalized in the annals of history. If you like what you heard, subscribe to the Best of Gen X wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. Joe, always a pleasure.
Duh.